Mark Zuckerberg has a $10 billion plan to make it impossible for remote workers to hide from their bosses. To make it hard for remote employees to hide from their managers, Mark Zuckerberg has a $10 billion plan, and you should hear it. Avatars, which are your uncanny synthetic representation for real employees, will be introduced to video chats, according to CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who spoke about his intentions for Meta during the Meta Connect 2022 live conference last week. Yes, you heard that right. How about you stick till the end of this video as we reveal to you all the insight there is to it. Let's begin. We are quite sure that you remember the time when the undisputed social network powerhouse spent $10 billion last year creating the Metaverse, a virtual environment where users may engage with experiences and other users through VR technology. However, following the announcement of partnerships with several businesses, including one with Microsoft Chairman and CEO Satya Nadella, who would bring Microsoft apps to Meta Horizon Workrooms, the VR metaverse rooms where employees' avatars meet, Zuckerberg unveiled the video chat avatar feature. He said that the partnership would create a unified digital office we think can make distributed work so much better. So, how did the idea begin to take a concrete form? Well, CEO Mark Zuckerberg spoke about his future goals for Meta during a Meta Connect 2022 live lecture last week. One of those plans include bringing avatars, uncanny artificial representation of real employees, to video chats. In contrast, their exact skin tone, haircut, and color preference would also be taken into account while creating them. Further, in a completely virtual roundtable conference, you and your colleagues would be chatting using avatars in what Zuckerberg called a third mode between full camera on and camera off. According to him, you can still express yourself and react, but you are not on camera, so it's kind of like a better camera off mode. Honestly, it doesn't sound too appealing. It might just happen to add more anxiety to those who work from the comfort of their homes, in bed with a sweatshirt. On the other hand, all of this, as the intelligencer John Herman notes, could be a plan to diversify Meta's revenue, but it could also be an effort to acknowledge and address the problems that executives have with remote work. Also, the possibility of an improved camera off mode may be the answer to the boss's prayers who are fed up with remote workers who frequently attend meetings without turning on their webcams. Seems like the comfy days are over for the remote workers out there. But does seeing still make one believe? Therefore, to answer that, it has long been established that proximity bias, which refers to managers favoring employees they can see in person, exists. It may also help to explain why managers accustomed to controlling a physical office would be overjoyed to be able to see their employees, even if it meant donning extravagant headgear that costs as much as a Peloton. Similarly, according to a Microsoft poll of 20,000 people, managers continued to consistently question the effectiveness of their remote workers. And to further make sure that their optimum levels of output is achieved, some have even adopted harsh methods. With that being said, 8 out of the 10 largest private businesses in the United States measure productivity indicators such as active online time, frequency of keyboard pauses, how long it takes to type an email, and even individual keystrokes, according to August data by the New York Times. Thus, Nadella's backing and Zuckerberg's enthusiasm for metaverse gatherings may be indicative of a particular type of productivity paranoia. However, some experts are leery of a complete switch to the metaverse. For example, according to Roshni Ravindran, an assistant professor at the Darren School of Business at the University of Virginia, we would have to properly heed to the physical consequences of headsets, she stated to Fortune last year. As for us users, we aren't sure whether it will affect our eyesight or compromise our cognitive functioning, and honestly, we won't know until there's a little more consistent usage pattern. So, before beginning a full-scale adoption, we need to take some of the things into consideration. Moving on, Kathy Hackle, a futurist and expert on the metaverse, asserts that it is doubtful that the metaverse will be as all-encompassing as Zuckerberg wants. For instance, face-to-face meetings are still preferable for gatherings that depend on stronger bonds or team building, like new employee orientations or Christmas parties. However, even with the most cutting-edge VR equipment, Hackle remarked she reached her limit at about 45 minutes. That's right, "I don't think I could wear a headset for a 6-hour video call," expressed Hackle. "We feel you, Kathy, we do." As for how the users are taking this new addition, here's what we came across. A user took to Reddit to express, "I would rather have my team do good quality work and manage their own time than we fussing over how they are spending every hour of a workday, and then also get bad quality work." Well, as sensible as that sounds, we can only hope that Zuckerberg takes this feedback into account. On a side note, for those of you who are unaware of what the recent MetaConnect was all about, here's a little backstory. To demonstrate the advancement in turning the Metaverse into a reality, Mark Zuckerberg appeared with representatives from Reality Lab at Meta this year, along with a few distinguished visitors as well. We went on to explore how virtual reality is becoming more social and highlighted the phenomenal success of MetaQuest 2, as well as advancements in work, gaming, and fitness. Not to forget, they unveiled MetaQuest Pro, a revolutionary tool that is bridging the gap between the physical and digital realms. But it doesn't end here. The hardware is only one aspect of the entire situation. MetaQuest Pro was created with productivity in mind and will be a significant advancement for individuals who use VR as a tool for work. Consequently, the engineers at Meta are equally committed to developing and maintaining software that enhances your productivity. Additionally, Mark was joined by Microsoft Chairman and CEO Satya Nadella to declare a new alliance that will bring strong new work and productivity tools to MetaQuest Pro and MetaQuest 2 in the upcoming year. And not just this, these tools include apps for Microsoft Word 365 and Microsoft Teams, as well as the capacity to join a team meeting from inside the Meta Horizon workroom. In conclusion, it is anticipated that the Metaverse will connect VR headsets, smartphones, laptops, desktop computers, and even yet underdeveloped hardware. At the event, it was also demonstrated how the team is working to expand Meta Horizon worlds to other platforms, allowing users to pick up their phones or laptop and call friends who are chatting in virtual reality and vice versa. Similar to this, if you're watching a comedy event, for instance, you can share the URL with your friends so they can join from wherever they are without a headset. That sounds amazing, doesn't it? Therefore, these virtual worlds can now link individuals on a much deeper level by being available on any device. And let's not forget that the engineers are also testing a means for you to take a video of worlds and quickly publish it straight to Instagram as a reel, enabling creators to connect with their audiences and share their work in a new way. The advice here is that you should keep an eye on your timeline for that, because it has been noted that the engineers are collaborating with some of the top Instagram creators to explore what kind of worlds they can construct. And if you do begin using MetaQuest Pro later this month, you will be able to utilize your new hardware to the fullest extent possible in the workroom. With the new controller's bundled stylus tip, you can whiteboard with more accuracy and control, and natural facial expressions will help you make eye contact with the audience or smile as Friday draws to a close. Last but not least, Microsoft iTunes and Azure Active Directory will be supported by both MetaQuest and MetaPortal. Companies should be able to manage and secure their headsets the same way they would their laptops and phones as MetaQuest 2 and MetaQuest Pro become more and more integrated into day-to-day operations. Companies will have to access the security and management tools they deem and expect that Microsoft iTunes and Azure Active Directory accordingly. Also keep in mind that avatars are still improving, becoming more expressive, capable, and customized. You've just got to hang in there. That's all for today, you guys. We hope that we covered all bases from our end. However, if there's something you think you know that can add to the video, feel free to comment in the comment section below. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you very soon.